member. I know, don't look at me like that. Like she's a CrossFit. Really? Old girls can do it too, but and I've really enjoyed it, and I feel great, and I've learned a lot. I've become a lot stronger, and I'm able to do things that I used to not be able to do. So I wanted him to come and share with you just how great this program is and how good it can be for your health and your lifestyle. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some new members today after you hear what he has to say. But I'm going to turn it over to Ori. Thanks, Ori.
I thought he was you doing CrossFit.
He does.
Could I ask for a demonstration of a burpee?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you guys. Thanks to Dawn. Thank you guys for having me. Obviously, I'm no health professional. I have done extensive research into fitness, working out. I've done several things over the course of my life, ranging from P90X, insanity, to powerlifting, to running, to sports, bunch of different things I've done, never really satisfied with any until I found CrossFit. Anybody catch the 60-minute special on CrossFit that was there the other night? Maybe the two CrossFitters in the room. All right, great. So, cool. Maybe I won't repeat some of the things that you've heard. Before I get into CrossFit, let me tell you a little bit about our gym, a little bit of how it started, where it was founded, and how it came to be, why it came to be. And CrossFit for us wasn't something that Barnyard CrossFit wasn't something that we set out one day and said, hey, that looks like a great way to make money, let's start a business, let's build a building, we'll start a gym, we'll make lots of money, everybody will come and we'll be happy. That wasn't the way it started. What really, the reason it started was my brother had passed away from suicide. And me and my dad were just sitting around, and my dad was wasting away on the couch. My mom was doing the same thing. My mom could barely get out of a chair on her own without assistance. My dad was getting older, and although he had been in powerlifting for almost 30, 40 years at the time, he had slowly begun to spend less and less time in the gym, and you could just see the depression starting to creep in and that sort of thing. So we had an old horse barn. At the time we didn't have any horses, but we had some stalls and a piece of concrete, probably about the size of this room, maybe a little bit smaller. So I said, Dad, why don't we tear down the walls and put some new roof on, and let's get on Craigslist, let's buy some weights, and let's start working out. I want you to teach me how to work out. More so for his benefit than mine, I thought, at the time. So that's what we did. We went on Craigslist, bought a bunch of used weights, used barbells, started teaching me how to powerlift, started teaching me how to lift. Got really good. Started inviting friends over before I knew it, 20 people. And one of the things my dad said was, this place will always be open to anyone that wants to come. So it's still there today. You can still go work out for free. It's a place where teenagers stay out of trouble. They come and work out. They get a good role model from my dad, and it's a good community, and we really try to give back to young people that are in troubled times and that sort of thing. So that's how that part started. Now, I was into powerlifting, lifting heavy weights for a while, and then along came this pastor from Tennessee named Tyler Campbell. Some of you guys may know him, so don't let me talk bad about him. He's a great guy. And he came along and he was doing some crazy stuff. I've never seen anybody work out quite like he was working out. He would be moving from place to place and doing weird pull-ups and weird stuff, and I couldn't figure this guy out. I just thought that it was the weirdest thing that I ever seen, but I knew one thing: he was fit. He was fitter than I was. I thought that the end-all be-all to being a good weightlifter was to be able to lift heavy weight, and that was it. But the truth of the matter was I couldn't run to the road and back without being completely gassed and out of breath and not be able to do anything. So it occurred to me one day that if something was to happen, I may be able to lift the car one time, but if I had to move 30 sandbags, I might be in trouble. So I got with Tyler. I said, whatever you're doing, I want to know more about it. I want to learn what you're doing. And he was doing CrossFit. So CrossFit.com is a website that started back around 2006, 2005, if I'm not mistaken on that timeline, where they began posting these workouts online. And these workouts consist of several different modalities, being running, rowing, sprinting, lifting weights, gymnastics, all combined in these short, intense workouts. So we started doing these workouts and started building some things in the yard, built our own pull-up bars, built our own dip racks, built our own lifting platform, and so we worked out in the yard. And just like with the powerlifting gym, now it grew even more. And it grew to 10, to 20, to 30, to 40. One day I looked out in my yard, we had like 3 barbells and dropping weights and creating divots in the yard, and there was like 40 people in my yard. So obviously the next progression was, we got to do something, we got to build something. So I went and got my level 1 certification through CrossFit, which is a 2-day process, and obviously a larger study time before that. Got my level 1 and built what was now the barnyard. It's a 3,500 square foot barn. It looks just like a barn. You walk in, you might ask, where's all the equipment? Where's all the machines? There are no machines, because we use functional movement. Now, a lot of people think that CrossFit was something that was developed out of the military. A lot of people think that it's for the fittest of the fit, that you have to be fit in order to start CrossFit, and all those things are not true. Greg Glassman, the founder of CrossFit, was a college-level gymnast. When early on he was diagnosed with polio, and he had some problems growing up as a kid. He used gymnastics to overcome those problems, and part of his gymnastics routine was, when you dismount from the rings, you need to be calm, cool, and collected as a cucumber. Underneath, you're dying, you want to throw up, And so one of the things he developed was these workouts to where he would tax himself to the point where, when he got off the rings, he would be calm and cool and collected. So his dad backed out the station wagon out of the garage, pulled up a pull-up bar, got some concrete weights, and thus CrossFit was born. He started experimenting with these different movements and workouts, and CrossFit, that was about 1974 or 75. Years and years later, it developed and became to what, after being kicked out of several gyms, because obviously they don't want him in those kind of gyms. He created his own gyms, and thus CrossFit is born. Now, who in here knows anything about CrossFit Games? Anybody know anything about CrossFit Games? Seen it on ESPN, any of that stuff? CrossFit Games is where the fittest of the fit on the planet go head-to-head in competition to compete for the fittest person on the planet. Most of the time when you Google CrossFit, that's what you're going to find. So a lot of the assumptions that go along with CrossFit is that it's for the fittest of the fit, and that normal people can't do it. But I'm going to debunk that and teach you that that's not true. CrossFit is good for both the Olympian and the grandmother. Now, you may walk into our gym one day and find that a 75-year-old grandmother is doing deadlifts. And you might ask yourself, why? Why would a grandma be needing to do deadlifts? Well, to deny a grandmother a deadlift is also telling her that if she drops her pen on the floor, she's not going to bend down and pick it up. Everybody needs to learn how to move correctly, efficiently, and overall to be healthy. So it brings me to this. This is what we call the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. The USDA will say that sickness, wellness, you can be completely well, but we take it one step further and say you need to be fit, okay? So sickness, where do you think our country is as a whole? On this continuum here?
Probably down there.
Probably the majority of the people in America are right around here, right? So our goal is to take you from here to here, and that is based on these measurements of blood pressure, body fat, bone density, triglycerides, cholesterol, flexibility, muscle mass, etc. Fitness is where we want to get you there. So, what is fitness? That's the question. How do we define fitness? If you look it up in Webster's dictionary, not a good definition there. If you ask other people, well, it means that you can run a long distance. Well, what you'll find is that people that run long distances, such as a marathoner, only has a vertical leap of inches. So what if you say the fittest person on the planet is the person that can jump the highest? Well, that doesn't really make sense either. So what we're talking about fitness is overall fitness. So we want you to be good at everything. So I've put on here what we define fitness in 100 words. Okay, so this is basically what CrossFit is in 100 words. All right, so the first thing is talking about food. We live in America where most everything has monosodium glutamate in it. It's processed, it's bad for you, it's not good. It's not the way that God intended you to eat, and yet we consume it all day, every day. So one of the things that we follow is called a paleo diet. Not strictly, you don't have to follow just a paleo diet, but we say eat meat, vegetables, nuts, seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, keep intake levels that will support exercise but not body fat. So very simple, if it comes out of the ground or God made it, or you can kill it, it's good to eat. That's what we follow, plain and simple. Keep it simple. How we train, we practice and train major lifts. We deadlift, we clean, we squat, we press, we clean and jerk, and snatch. We also try to master the basics of gymnastics, which are pull-ups, dips, rope climbs, push-ups, sit-ups, presses, the handstand, paralleps, flips, splits, and holds. We also bike, run, swim, row, and etc. And the last part is probably the most important part, hard and fast. Okay? We do this 5 to 6 days per week, mix these elements in as many combinations and patterns as creativity will allow. Routine is the enemy. Keep workouts short and intense, and regularly learn and play new sports. What we prepare for in CrossFit is the unknown and the unknowable. Okay? Moving on to fitness standard number 1. Talk about some things that we practice in CrossFit. Some things that are unfamiliar to, say, your Globo gym. Now, I'm not knocking any Globo gyms. I'm not going to try to step on anybody's toe. Globo gym is what CrossFitters call your Planet Fitness, your normal gyms. All right. We try to work on all these things. As a power lifter, you may get power. You may get strength, but you're going to be missing some of these. There's going to be some gaps in your game. And what we try to do is focus on a well-rounded athlete. So we do cardio and respiratory endurance, stamina, strength, flexibility, power, speed, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. Some of these are neurological, some of these take training, but all of these things are practiced on a daily basis within the CrossFit realm. So whether you're doing pull-ups, deadlifts, push-ups, all these things will be tested, and all these things will be developed in each person. So no matter if you're a grandmother, no matter if you're an Olympian, these things need to be tested and improved. All right. Flexibility is a big one. We just talked to a little bit with Penny before I came up here. She was talking about her endurance riding and how important flexibility plays in to her endurance riding. Stamina and strength. We talked about earthquakes before, right? Preparing for the earthquakes. What do you need? You need some of this stuff, right? If you're not flexible enough to get up that mountain to deliver those goods to the people that need it, you're just out of luck. So we're training for the unknown and the unknowable by testing and growing all of these things. So that's fitness standard number 1. Moving on to the fitness standard number 2 is kind of what I just said, the Hopper model. So it's the unknown and unknowable. Things happen in life, right? Some people come into our gym, they see us working out, we're going hard, we're sweating, and we're really killing it in the gym. And they say, "What are you training for? Are you training for war? Are you training for, what exactly is your idea? What's going on? Why are you training so hard?" And we train for the unknown and unknowable. We train for things like leukemia. We train for things like earthquakes. We train for things like muggings. Things that happen in life that you need these skills for. Not only is it a sport, but it's also a way of life. It's also a way to develop yourself. So what we say is the Hopper model, and this is based on the very first CrossFit Games, which became a sport out of CrossFit, where we can put anything into this hopper. So let's say unloading a moving truck with furniture for time. All right, we'll put that in there. All right, moving truck. Let's say swimming to save someone from drowning. Put that in there. Let's say you really need to lift a heavy motorcycle off someone that's burning up and on fire. You need to move something heavy. Put that one in there. Anything that you can think of that life can throw at you, you throw into this hopper model. You turn the handle and you pull it out. Are you prepared? That's the question. If you're a gym rat and you're just lifting weights and you're strong, what if you need to run and you can't run? Well, you're just out of luck. And so what we do is we prepare for the unknown and the unknowable, and we never know what life is going to throw at us. So every day that I'm in the gym, that I'm lifting heavy weights and I'm moving the way that I'm doing, and I'm programming the workouts that I'm programming, not only is it for your health and your development, but it's also preparing you for life. And so it'll develop a sense of awareness of things, and also help you grow. So this is where I'm going to spend most of my time, and I want you guys to really pay attention to this and understand why CrossFit is so effective. So some of the things you might be asking yourself is, what makes CrossFit different? Why can't I just go into the gym and do lateral curls for time? First of all, lateral curls isn't a functional movement. You're never going to do this in real life, okay? You're never going to do this all, as a part of life. But the fitness standard number 3 is your 3 metabolic pathways, all right? So if you're a long distance runner, you're going to be spending most of your time in this pathway. If you're a power lifter, you're going to spend most of your time here. If you're a boxer or someone like that, you'll probably spend most of your time here. But in CrossFit, we mix all 3 of these, and it elicits a neuroendocrine response from your body that's unlike any other. So the phosphagen creatine pathway, has anyone ever heard of the supplement creatine? Creatine is something that a lot of bodybuilders, powerlifters use. It is something that is burned off in a very short amount of time, and it takes minutes to recoup that in your cells. So the phosphagen creatine pathway, if you look in time for seconds, you can hit 100% very quickly, but it burns away very quickly. So you'll see in runners that sprint 100 meters for time, they're sprinting very fast and very hard, but that pathway burns away very quickly. All right, so they're practicing that phosphagen pathway. And then you have the glycogen, or the glycogen pathway here, that's going to burn off your sugars. It's going to last a little bit longer, and both of these are anaerobic. And the last one is oxidative, which is aerobic. All right, so what we know about this is powerlifters spend their time here. Long distance runners spend their time here. CrossFitters spend their time here. Okay, so we work all 3 of these pathways, which creates an awesome response from your body, which has no choice but to respond. So let's make up a CrossFit workout real fast, just so you guys can get an idea of what that might look like. All right, we're gonna run 400 meters, oxidative, right? Then we're gonna deadlift 135 pounds. It's gonna hit that phosphagen pathway, right? And then we're gonna do something like pull-ups. And we're going to be working all 3 of these. So instead of being specific, we're going to hit all 3 of these pathways. So we're working all 3 of these metabolic pathways at one time. And we're going to do it fast and hard. And that's going to create this neuroendocrine response from your body, and it forces it to change. It forces it to get better. It forces it to be healthier. And it forces you to become better. All right? So this is a part of our fitness standard, and this is why CrossFit is more effective and different than any other workout regimen out there. So, brings us to another thing. What do we use? We don't use equipment. We don't use machines. We use things like barbell, kettlebells. We lift heavy weights. We do pull-ups. We do handstand push-ups. We do all different kinds of gymnastics movements. We do metabolic conditions like running, rowing, jumping rope, and we combine those, like I said in the beginning, as many creative ways as possible, in as quick and most intense way possible. So CrossFit, in a nutshell, is functional movement. It's constantly varied, and it's done at high intensity, and it makes it very effective. So this is what I've come to learn. This is what I've come to love. This is just information. But I can sit here and talk all day, and CrossFit will never be understood with words, in my opinion. CrossFit is something that needs to be experienced, whether you're 100 years old or whether you're 10 years old. And it's one of those things for us that make up the biggest difference. I'll give you some examples. Jacob Newberry, a friend of mine, came into the gym back in the old days when we were still in the dirt, vastly overweight, white as a sheet, looked sick in his face, was really concerned for his health. And not only was he depressed, fed up with life, but he was sick. He needed help. We started doing CrossFit together. We began a friendship together. We began that community together. And now Jacob, I wish I could show you the pictures. His pants used to be here, now he's here. And he's lost a couple 100 pounds. When I say 100 pounds, literally hundreds of pounds. My mom, she couldn't get out of the chair to walk to the door hardly. And now she's doing squats and cleans. Her cholesterol's down, her health is up. She's happy, she's healthy, and she's growing in a fantastic way. You got some people, Ed Whidden was one. Lost some weight, regained his health. And here's what CrossFit does that nobody else can do for you. You come in, you work out together. So you work out. Me and Dawn are gonna work out together. She's not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. If you have people pushing you and you're in that community together, you're working together, you're pushing each other, and that's what makes CrossFit different than any other place on the planet, is that sense of community, that sense of working together and growing together. Yes,
Corey, how long does an average workout last?
An average workout, well, the whole class time is only 1 hour. So the average workout is going to be anywhere from 3 minutes to 30 minutes. Usually not more than 30 minutes. So depending on the workout, depends on the length of time. Let me tell you a couple more things, and then we'll open it up for questions. CrossFit workouts, they're all girl names. Funny, right? So you got Fran, Diane, Grace, Barbara. You have all different girl names, and those are the benchmark workouts.
You got one named Dawn?
Not yet. We're working on that. Greg Glassman his dad was a rocket scientist, the founder of CrossFit, which Don told me the other day. Her father also worked for NASA. But observable, measurable, repeatable. That's the key. That's also what sets CrossFit apart, is that it's observable, it's measurable, and repeatable. So Dawn may come in and do her friend time, and she may do it in 10 minutes. Well, in 3 months down the road, she keeps training, she's going to retest it, she may be down to 8 minutes. And so those celebrations, those victories of getting better, when you observe and you measure and you're able to repeat the same workouts over time, is also a very cool thing. I'm going to tell you why the CrossFit workouts have girl names. Because Greg Glassman says anything that leaves you breathing that hard, laying on your back, looking up at the stars, wondering what happened, deserves a girl's name. but also in CrossFit, we also have some that are guy names. And so if you run across one that are guy names or girl names, those are what we call hero wads. And those are meant to honor our fallen. They're meant to honor veteran soldiers. We have one coming up this month. We do it on a yearly basis called Murph. It's based on Lieutenant Michael Murphy, and it's a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and another mile run, and it's done with a 20-pound vest in his honor. The good thing about CrossFit is it's always scalable. So if that workout doesn't work for you, you're gonna just nail it back. You may run 400 meters, you may do 30 pull-ups, and you may do jumping pull-ups. We do jumping pull-ups, we do ring rows. So it's always on a scalability. So if you feel like I can't do it because I can't do pull-ups, well, there's always a scale for the people that can't do it, and you slowly over time progress and work up. Dawn told me earlier she's off the baby box, moving on to a bigger box on her box jumps, which is a victory. It's a celebration for her. So that's what it's all about. We're not about money. We don't care about money. Most CrossFit gyms in America, if you'll do a survey, you Google most CrossFit gyms, they run about $150 to $200 a month. You get training, you get blah blah blah, all this. We charge $67 a month. We charge enough to be able to keep our lights on and to be able to keep equipment in our gym and to keep things clean and running. The reason we do that is we care about people, and that's what's important to us. We care about people's health, we care about your fitness, we care about your well-being, and we care about, those are the things we care about as people and the community that CrossFit brings. Now I want to show you one more graph, and then I'm absolutely done. So you can be the fittest person on the planet. So you've been doing CrossFit for for quite a long time. You've been really, really good at CrossFit. You've gotten good. You say you're fittest. Let's say you just go to the CrossFit games. You've tested. You've got everything you need. This is here. This is your CrossFit life. Okay? And then here's this line. And this is called eternity. Okay? This is how much this matters in the view of eternity. I like to tell people this. You can be the fittest person. You can eat the best diet. You can do all the right things. You can be fit. You can be healthy. You can move correctly. You can learn all the things that you need to learn. You can be up off the couch. You can be playing with your grandchildren and feel like you have a brand new life and still be miserable on the inside. And that only comes through a life with Christ. And that's one of the things that our gym is all about, is celebrating and glorifying Christ and Jesus. And my relationship with him and my parents' relationship with him is what drives us to love people and to keep going and doing the things that we're doing out at the barnyard. And we just love people, and we want to do things in that light that Christ has given us the opportunity to be able to help people, and that's what we want to do. And that's the whole reason, to be honest with you, the barnyard exists. It doesn't exist for us. We didn't do anything special. God just gave us an opportunity to be able to build that gym and to touch people's lives, and that's, for us, that's really what it's all about. But I know I probably rambled, probably didn't make a lot of sense. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, you said if we wanted to find out more, to go to your Facebook page.
Yes. I'll put this up there. BarnyardCrossFit.com or on Facebook at Barnyard CrossFit, obviously.
Rory,
Yes.
you said you thought you might be rambling. I will tell you, this is one of the best presentations I've ever seen at Rotary.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was
Thank
very
you.
good.
Do you have a program for kids?
Yes, thank you for asking. We do have a program for kids. We're also in the process of developing that. So like I said, it's good for the grandma all the way down to the toddler. And so we teach kids how to move properly even from a young age. Right now we're doing that on Wednesdays at 5:45, but we're in the process of developing a 3-day per week program for our kids, and that is in the works. Thank you for asking.
I have just a couple things, but would you please show them what a burpee is? Everybody asks me what's a burpee.
No, we won't put Dawn to show it.
I'm wearing sandals today. I can't do a burpee.
A burpee is a involuntary throwing yourself on the floor, jumping up and clapping. So I'll show you one, and then Don's going to do 20 of them. So, down and up, jump and clap. Looks simple enough. You do 30 of them, I promise you'll be done.
Yeah. What was that song? That's Roxanne?
Roxanne,
Every
yeah.
time that
We like to have
song-
fun. We do things different. You know, you come into a classroom, if you got a class, say 10, 12 people, our warm-up might be a song, Roxanne. And every time you hear Roxanne, you have to do a burpee. Or we may play dodgeball. We just got some dodgeballs the other day. So we're going to be playing dodgeball for warm-up. You may just be doing our med ball relays. I mean, we do a lot of fun things. It's basically like grown-up PE, but the right way. You know, that's basically what it is.
Well, I jotted down a few things that I noticed since joining CrossFit. Well, the one thing, the obvious things my doctor loves, my cholesterol's down to normal. I'm no longer on blood pressure medicine. I'm no longer on blood sugar medicine. Everything's normal. I've lost inches, some weight, mostly inches because I think I'm building muscle. He works you out really hard. Like he said, I went from the baby box, which was about there, and they took it out, so I had to use the next baby box. They got rid of it. I think they were trying to force me to try and use the next one. And now I'm on the regular box that everybody else uses. So that it took me a while, but I'm there. In a workout, I've done up to 80 sit-ups and 80 pull-ups in one workout now, when I could barely do 10. I've learned a lot. I feel better. And I noticed it after the last festival that we had. You know how hard we work at a festival. I clocked over 11 miles on my feet, lifting, toting, didn't bother me. I wasn't even tired Sunday. Like normally I'm just dead for 3 days afterwards, and I could see a huge difference in how I feel and how I am, and I'm keep it up, trying to lose some more weight, and even get more fit. I RX for the first time.
And if you don't know what RX means, that's doing the workout as prescribed. So we have a scalability, like I said, and then eventually you work that scale up to where you can do the workout as it's written. So that's
When I first started, I could only row 200 meters. Now I'm up to 2,000 in one workout. So I've enjoyed it. I think Ori, he pushes you pretty good. He knows you have potential to do better, and he kind of pushes you to do that.
If you guys have any questions, I forgot my cards, but if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us on Facebook. We're at Barnyard CrossFit, barnyardcrossfit.com. You can find our my number there. You can text me, call me. That's my cell number. Any of those things. So.
Any more questions for Ori? Thank you very much.